Oh, what's up, guys? It's Jukes, and welcome to the 4-1-2-1-2 Diamond Guide in video format. Finally, now as you know, this is the 4-1-2-1-2 with central midfielders, not with wingers, just to avoid any confusion. As you guys know, custom tactics still don't permanently save, unfortunately, so to set them up, you can either do it through the Player Friends squad or the Team of the Week challenge. Just back out when you're done. And then it'll save until you quit Ultimate Team. Then when you get back on Ultimate Team, you have to redo them. I don't know why EA made it like that, but that's just the way it is. Moving on to the custom tactics, though. I still have speed, passing, the same actually for build up play. So I've got it on 70 for speed just because I feel like it makes it easier to attack quicker. Even though attacking quicker in 16 is a challenge, it can still be done if you just take it a bit slower and do it in a controlled manner. But you can still attack fast in this game. You just have to know how to attack fast, especially utilizing the driven pass feature. That'll definitely help for attacking fast. Passing, though, on build-up play remains on 20 just because it makes it easier to do passes in quick succession, makes it easier to string passes together, makes it easier to combat high pressure, and it just makes it easier, of course, to keep possession if your players bunch up more often. So positioning on build-up play, though, I've got it on freeform. It just helps, I feel, with unpredictability, especially if your opponent's high pressuring you in your half. Your players will be a bit more fluid in how they position themselves. You can do it on organized, though. When I played wagers last year, I actually did that. Organized for positioning for build-up play. So organized or freeform either works. Freeform a bit more risky, but there's a bit of a more of a reward with it. So really depends what you want to use. Chance creation, though, passing on 70. Again, even though through balls are tougher to execute this year, I still want players making runs when they can. And of course, you don't always need to pass it to the player making the run. It just helps if they drag defenders with them, giving you more space to attack. And then, of course, crossing on 20, just because I barely cross. Okay, and if you cross, you can always bump that up to 40, 50. It just depends. Me, I barely cross, so it's on 20. Shooting is on 70. I feel like out of all the tactics, though, this is the toughest one to actually notice in game. So I think any number you put here would be fine. Like even if you did 50, I suppose like normal amounts of shots taken, it'd be fine. I just have it on 70 just because I feel like it's been working with me and I don't want to change what's working. Again, positioning on chance creation is freeform. Now, this I would keep freeform just because when you get into the final third, the extra fluidity this offers helps a lot, especially because attacking, is a bit tougher this year. So I would keep positioning on freeforms because your players will roam around a bit more, which will make you more unpredictable, which of course is always key. As for defense, I have it on 70, 60 pressure, aggression. You always want to keep those two close together. If you feel like 70, 60 makes you too prone to counterattacks, you could always drop it to 60, 50, even 50, 45, whatever works for you. You could even drop it to low all the way. I think that would work as well. Me, I just have it on 70, 60 just because I like to press a lot. So I've kept that as is. As for team width, I also still have that at 40. The formation itself is already narrow, so maybe I don't need the team width at 40. I just kept it like that because I want to keep the formation narrow. One thing you could do, though, if you come up against winger formations, you could always pause it at the start of the game and raise the width to wide, so it'll be easier for you to cover those wingers. I actually never do that just because I feel like I still don't need it. Just because sometimes you want to outnumber the 4-3-3 formations in the midfield itself, and raising the team width to wide would make that a bit tougher. Moving on to instructions now. For center backs, obviously I left it at default. I feel like you don't need to change them at all. Even the interception instructions, I just leave it unbalanced just because they're so good as is. Why bother? As for fullbacks, though, I actually had them on balanced for attacking support for a long time until one night I actually got absolutely destroyed constantly on counters. So I just felt like, let me try them out on stay back while attacking. And, I feel like they still actually contribute going forward. So stay back while attacking for the fullbacks is more than good enough. And remember, you could always initiate them to overlap or to just venture forward with the 1-2 pass. Just be careful when you do 1-2 pass with the fullback. If you don't return the pass right away, they'll still continue that run. So if you lose the ball and you're wondering where your fullback is, it's because you did a 1-2 pass with him and you didn't return the pass. In interceptions, though, I kept it on balanced. Throughout the team, I kept interceptions on balance just because, like I said, I just feel like they work so well. Why bother changing it? In the future, I might tinker with that, but for now, interceptions on every single player is on balance. Rakitic, meanwhile, though, I know a lot of people tinker with defensive behavior, like they have him man mark or cut passing lanes like certain CDMs. Me personally, I like having that on balance. The only instruction I do on the CDM is, of course, stay back while attacking. Now, medium CDMs I wouldn't recommend in this formation just because they tend to roam around a bit, especially with the freeform positioning that I used on the custom tactics. It'll make them roam around even a bit more. So again, the only reason I'm using Rakitic is because his passing and shooting is very good, and even when he does venture forward a bit, his shot is a great weapon to have. But I wouldn't recommend medium CDMs. If you do use them, though, I definitely put them on stay back while attacking, and I'd use ones that have a good shot and good passing, like Rakitic or Cruz, of course. Anyone else, I wouldn't bother, just because they just roam around too much and they lack that discipline to play that position, especially if you're up against somebody who's pretty good at passing, and your CDM will be left wandering at times. Moving on to the central midfielders, though, I actually kept them on default, everything. I tried out Isco on get forward just because Neymar was on his side. But I feel like it made the quartet in midfield disjointed. Like that diamond in midfield is the biggest strength of this formation, and you want to keep that intact, So I wouldn't recommend doing get forward on your central midfielders. I just leave them on default. As for the Cam, though, I actually do have him on stay forward. The reason I have him on stay forward is because when you have a chance for counterattacks, ideally you'd want your Cam close to your strikers in this formation, just because it'll be easier for you to counterattack more efficiently. You could, of course, use him to take the shot if he's close to goal, or you could play those through balls to your striker. Through balls through the middle this year are tougher to execute. I'd wait until sometimes the strikers drift out wide. That's when through balls are, I think, the easiest to do. Of course, you could always do driven passes to the striker when they're static. The strikers themselves, though, actually have them only on stay central. I tried out getting behind for one, but I feel like it made the formation too disjointed, and it felt just really weird. I felt like I was playing with one striker only at times, just because one was constantly making runs, and I almost never played the through ball just because it's just so much tougher to play through balls now. As I said, like the passing being on 70 for chance creation, they'll make runs anyways, even without getting behind. So you don't need to have them on getting behind. They'll make those runs. I have them on stay central, though, just because I want them to be closer to each other to link up, and also the strikers in this formation do at times drift out wide, so I want them to stay a bit more central. As for work rates, though, I avoid, like I said, medium CDMs. I'd go medium high or high. For fullbacks, I would go high medium. With stay back while attacking, they won't push up too much. As for center backs, I'd go medium high, or even high medium, although I would avoid two high medium center backs. As for central midfielders, I know I'm using Silva. I wouldn't recommend high-low central midfielders, though. I'm using the exact same instructions on this team as well. I wouldn't recommend high-low central midfielders. I think high-medium or high-high is perfect. As for the cam, high-medium or high-low. Even medium-low could work, although I think high-low or high-medium would be better. As for strikers, high-medium, high-low would be the two best. Of course, medium-low can work, especially if it's Messi. And even high-high can work if it's someone like Tevez, who's amazing at this game. But yeah, those are the work rates I'd recommend. As for goalkeepers, I think anyone 83 or above and someone with good speed is good, just because the goalkeepers rush out a lot more in general this year. So it doesn't really matter which goalkeeper you choose, just because it seems like they're all good this year. But yeah, those are the work rates I'd recommend. You can this second team right here actually does play pretty well, although the first team I do think plays better, just because that midfield seems to work out better. Although Marquisio at CDM is a much better option than Rakitic. As for general tips, though, the driven pass definitely helps a lot this year, especially if you're going to pass to your strikers. Since they're not making any runs, they'll be static at times, so utilize that driven pass to them when you can. You don't need to charge up the pass too much. I mean, you can just tap it at times. It's a powered up pass anyways. I use L2R2 for like evasive dribbling, just because the tackling radius seems a bit higher this year, so L2R2 definitely helps. Ball rolls are a great skill move to learn. Of course, what I would recommend is playing the skill games, and if you use this formation in head-to-head and in Ultimate Team, it'll definitely help you adjust to the formation and to the game much better. But actually, I want to show you guys a clip which I think shows the true strengths of this formation and just how good it can be. So I think this was a game from 2 nights ago, probably. So he ends up trying to score right away from kickoff, win the ball back. And just look how nicely bunched up and close every single player is. It just makes it pretty easy to do these passes in quick succession. So I actually wanted to pause it here just because I talked about through balls and them being so tough to execute, especially down the middle. This is the perfect opportunity to do a through ball when there's good space between you and your center back. And of course, Tevez is making that run. You just have to make sure the power on that through ball isn't too much. You can also pay attention to Clichy there. As you saw, I initiated a 1-2 pass with him, and he continued that run all the way out to the left wing. So, like I said, be careful when you do those 1-2 passes with your fullbacks. If you don't return it right away, they will bomb forward constantly. That was a nice finish, by the way, with Tevez as well. Like, that through ball was perfect power, and of course, finesse shots in the box are the best way to finish this year, I think. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the guide. If you guys want, I could easily cover this formation more in depth, even with a video. Like I said, it'll be a 2-part guide. I'll have the text version of the guide out in maybe a month. But this video guide is just basically an overview of the formation itself. If you guys have any questions, comments, please let me know down below. I do read all the comments, even if I don't reply to them, although to the questions, this time I will reply to them all. And, if you guys have anything else you want me to add, potentially, let me know. Like I said, I could do a video analyzing gameplay where I use the formation, even where I lose, where I can tell you what I think I did wrong and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, we're coming up to the end of the video. If you guys liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, then leave a like. Simple as that. The 4-1-2-1-2 wide guide I might still do, but for now, this will probably be the main guide I do for FIFA 16. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, as I said, let me know anything down below in the comments. If you liked it, leave a like. I really appreciate that. And thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll catch you guys next time.